excited to be part of her special day. About a month ago, Jane came over to my house. She said she needed to talk about something important. We sat down in my living room, and she started telling me all about her wedding plans. Everything sounded really nice. The venue, the flowers, the music. Then, out of nowhere, she asked me for money. She wanted me to pay for half of her entire wedding. I was completely shocked. Jane explained that since I make more money than her, she thought I should help pay for the wedding. She said it wasn't fair that I had so much while she struggled to make ends meet. I tried to explain that I couldn't afford to pay for half her wedding. Yes, my business makes money, but I put most of it back into the company to help it grow. Plus, I have a mortgage and other bills to pay. Jane got really angry when I said no. She called me selfish and said I didn't care about her happiness. I tried to explain my situation better, but she wouldn't listen. She just got up and left, slamming the door on her way out. The next day, my mom called me. Jane had told her what happened, and Mom wanted to know why I wouldn't help my sister. I explained my financial situation to her, just like I had to Jane. Mom seemed to understand, but she still thought I should give Jane some money for the wedding. I told her I'd think about it, but honestly, I felt frustrated. It reminded me of all those times growing up when Mom had sided with Jane. After thinking it over for a week, I called Jane. I offered to pay for her wedding dress as a gift. I thought this was a good compromise. It was a significant contribution, but something I could actually afford. But Jane refused. She said it wasn't enough and that I should pay for more. I told her the dress was all I could afford, and Jane hung up on me. After that phone call, things got really bad. Jane started telling our family and friends that I was greedy. She said I cared more about money than family. Some people believed her without even asking for my side of the story. My cousins stopped talking to me altogether. My aunt called to tell me I was being selfish. I felt terrible about the whole situation, but I didn't think I was wrong. I had worked really hard for my money. I couldn't afford to pay for half of Jane's wedding, and I didn't think it was fair for her to expect that from me. I thought offering to buy her dress was pretty generous, considering my financial situation. Last week, my parents had a big family dinner. Jane and Tom were there, along with our grandparents and some aunts and uncles. During dinner, Jane made an announcement that she and Tom were postponing their wedding. She said they couldn't afford it because I had refused to help. Everyone at the table turned to look at me. I felt awful, like I was being put on the spot. My grandmother asked why I wouldn't help my sister. Before I could even try to explain, Jane started crying. She said she had always dreamed of having a big wedding, but now she couldn't have one because of me. I tried to explain my side of things, but no one seemed interested in listening. My uncle said I should be ashamed of myself. My grandfather said that family should always help family. Even my dad, who usually stays out of arguments, said I should reconsider my decision. The whole thing reminded me of when we were kids, and everyone would take Jane's side in our arguments. I couldn't take it anymore, so I left the dinner early. I felt like everyone was against me, like I was the bad guy in this situation. When I got home, I broke down and cried. I didn't know what to do or how to fix this mess. The next day, I got an unexpected call from Tom, Jane's fiancé. He apologized for all the drama at the family dinner. He explained that Jane had been really stressed about the wedding costs. Tom told me that they could actually afford the wedding without my help. They just needed to cut back on some of the more extravagant plans. He said Jane had gotten carried away with her plans and had expected too much from me. I felt relieved after talking to Tom. I thought maybe things would start to get better now that the truth was out. But then Jane posted on Facebook about her postponed wedding. She didn't mention me by name, but she hinted that a family member had let her down. Many people commented, saying how sorry they were. Some asked who had disappointed her. Jane didn't answer directly, but our cousin commented that I was the one who had refused to help. Now, many of my friends and family members are angry with me. They keep sending me messages, telling me I should help Jane. Some say I'm not a good sister. Others call me greedy. A few have even threatened to cut me out of their lives if I don't help Jane with the wedding. It's all so overwhelming and hurtful. I feel incredibly stressed and confused by this whole situation. I don't think I did anything wrong, but so many people are angry with me. Sometimes I wonder if maybe I should have done more to help Jane. But the reality is, I really can't afford to pay for half her wedding. And I think it's unfair of her to expect that from me, especially without even discussing it first. This situation has brought up a lot of old feelings from our childhood. I remember how Mom would often take Jane's side in arguments, or how Jane would get her way more often than I did. I love my sister, but it feels like she's always expected me to give in to her wishes, just like when we were kids. Yesterday, my best friend suggested I post online for advice. She thinks an outside perspective might help me see things more clearly. I'm not sure what to do next. I want to repair my relationship with Jane and my family, but I also don't want to be taken advantage of. I worked hard to build my business and create financial stability for myself. I don't think it's right for Jane to expect me to jeopardize that for her wedding. I keep thinking about all the times in the past when I've helped Jane out.